first thing we got you.
A condom. No, what is this?
This is a Casio keyboard necklace.
How about that?
When we were at Rick and Bubba, every time I did a bit on air, I always got called Little Casio. One time, somebody, I swear to you, they called me Diet Casio, and I was like, is that because I'm thinner? And they go, no, it's because you're not as funny.
I think it's because you're thinner, but I appreciate them. Look at that, dude.
So wait, what is it?
It's a Casio
keyboard, man.
Oh, cool.
So that's how he got his name.
Well, here's the story. I was either 14 or 15. It was a Friday night. Rick and Bubba did the Friday night high school scoreboard show, which wherever you're listening or watching to this, it's exactly what you would expect. Local high school football. And, of course, Rick and Bubba put their spin on it. They're giving out the golden plunger for the best bathroom at at the football game and the best concession stand and stuff like that. And then if they, picked you, they would go to at that time it was just them. They would go do a pep rally. They'd show up at your pep rally the next week or whatever the case may be. So, but where I was from, Gadsden, Alabama, this is before they had moved to Birmingham. I mean, they were Howard Stern. Might as well have been whatever the biggest thing in the world is. And so one night, they're doing their show, and I know you guys just had Bring It On episode.
Yep.
But they did a cheer they would do. Rock Steady was the cheer. And they would just do it, randomly. And so I was sitting there with a buddy one time at his house. We're playing video games, got the radio on, and he had a keyboard, and we just started, messing with it. And it was the one button that hits the music, that plays a little beat for you. And so we're just goofing around, and they started doing the cheer, the Rock Steady cheer. And so I just did it there. And my buddy's dying. He goes, you should call him and do it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't. They're radio guys. I'm not calling Rick and Bubba. And so he's like, do it. So I called him. And I was so nervous. And I'm like, I might as well be on the Tonight Show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so I call in.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. And they're like, hello. It's, Rick and Bubba, right? And I push the button. It's just making this little music. And so I do the chant, rock steady. Rock steady, Eddie. Your team ain't even ready. And they're dying laughing, right? And they're like, hey, man, what's your name? And it hit me that I'm 15 on a Friday night, sitting at home playing video games, calling a radio show. I'm like, boy, this is not going to look good on the resume if I'm trying to be a cool guy at some point. So I was like, I can't tell you. And they're like, tell us your name. I'm like, no chance. And they're like, well, you're the mysterious Casio kid then, because still got I'll say unique voice. But then it was even, pre any kind of, hey, it's real high. And so I did it, and the next week, it's their theme song, our new theme song for the mysterious Casio kid. And I'm like, what's happening? I'm skyrocketing in show business right now.
You went viral before people went viral.
And I mean, so then I would show up at their appearances. I would go up and I would be like, hey, and I'm Casio kid. And they would be like, oh, wow. So there was that for a few years, I would just see them out and introduce myself. And then when I got to college, I ended up being an intern for them. So, but that's how that all started, was just me not wanting to tell my real name after playing in a Casio. But now I got a Casio chain. It's all full circle right here.
It kind of made me feel like you were little Gene Belcher from Bob's Burgers with a Casio.
It is.
Going in.
I was that awkward, weird, odd kid. Yeah, because I was, they didn't have class clown every year in high school back then, or at my high school. So I got sloppy as sophomore first. And I'm like, man, that is, I don't think I wanted to get voted. I don't think that's as good of an award as y'all are acting like it is.
You're not lobbying for that.
No. People are pushing for stuff. I'm like, sloppy? Did y'all even tell me? No heads up? Hey, I voted for you? Because I'm voting at sloppy as sophomore. You don't think, I'm going to win this. You're this guy.
I love that you wouldn't tell Rick and Bubba your name at 15, but the next year you're voting for yourself
16,
for sloppy as sophomore.
I'm like, this is not good. And then it was the best school spirit, because I took over. We were in high school, and we were the Rebels. So we were just like Ole Miss, look exactly like the Johnny Reb deal. And I was actually ahead of the curve. I didn't know it, but I wanted to get rid of the Johnny Rebel guy.
Look at you.
But not for any kind of cultural reasons, because the uniform, the mascot uniform stunk so bad. It was just miserable. And so I made it this character, the Bleacher Creature, where I wore a wig and I had a Gene Simmons fake tongue that hung down to like my nipples. And I got a sheet and I wore it like a cape and had some face paint. And I showed up at a pep rally like that one time, and I was like, everybody was going, all my friends were going wild. And I was like, at that time it was the cheerleading coach, and she was in charge of the mascot. And I was like, hey, do you mind if I just try this for one game instead of wearing the mascot uniform? She's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm the least of her worries. And so I showed up as the Bleacher Creature, as we called it, and I was running around doing the flag, and it took off, dude. Took off. Everybody was loving the Bleacher Creature. Pep rallies, the homecoming parades. I had to teach a successor when I left that was going to be Bleacher Creature too, because that's how successful the Bleacher Creature was. I was like, man, you can't tell me. I'm on the radio at 15. I've created my own mascot. What y'all can't? I'm Spielberg. Anything I create is gold. Right
King Midas over here.
Whatever you want me to create, I got it.
The Bleacher Creature even reinforces my Gene Belcher.
That's a good call. I didn't think I was burying myself just then.
He did beef squatch.
He did do beef squatch.
It seems like something the sloppiest sophomore would come up with, for sure.
I graduated. That's why I won most school spirit, because I created the Bleacher Creature. And finally, senior year, I got crowned class clown, which was what I was going for the whole time. But they didn't have it, so I just sit in the wings and wait. Yeah, sit in the wings and wait for them to create it.
All right, next thing.
We're going with this. What is this? First of all, Hot Wheels logo is already hotness. Oh, Leno's Garage. How about that? What is this? What's in it?
I think
is it the garage?
Yeah, it's just like a few of his cars that he owns.
Hell yeah!
But didn't he give you like a Cadillac motorcycle or something like that?
Here's what I still have from my Tonight Show with Jay Leno days. As I try to open this. Wait, watch this. I'm gonna use the necklace. Oh yeah, it worked. This is all working perfectly. Oh, you're not my fluffer over here. I appreciate that. Look at that. It's the whole garage. He gave me, every year you're with him, everybody on staff gets a Christmas present if you're there at Christmas. And the first one I got was a duffel bag that had it was like a leather gym bag. Look, it's eating him up.
Oh, it's
a leather. What's the older Peyton Manning brother? That's him.
Cooper Manning.
Cooper,
he's been called that multiple times. Sam Talent called him Cooper Manning.
Cooper. Yeah, that's you.
I guess
good
white
question, Cooper
environments.
Manning. All right. Coming off the bench with a slam dunk.
Cooper Manning.
You resemble a Manning.
Oh, okay.
That's not a bad thing.
Oh, look at that. It is his cars. Okay. Oh, this is awesome. This is going to be awesome. This car right here, I saw in person.
Oh, no way.
So he drives a different car every day because he's got so many cars. So, it's like the known thing. If you show up and see a car, you're probably one of the only ones that are going to get to see it, because by the time he drives it again, it's going to be years probably. So this is a jet car with a actual jet engine in it. And it is not the same size as these cars. It's like as long as two cars. And we pulled up one day and that thing was sitting there. It was incredible. One day, Rascal Flatts was the guest, and they purposely packed their motorcycles in their 18-wheeler on tour so they could drive it and show Jay Leno. And he, and of course he's like, yeah, those are great. I drove a jet engine last weekend.
The Rascal Flats are like, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, exactly. Dead ass. That's super cool that was one of
Man,
them.
so life as a highway is like really real for them.
Yeah, that was it. That's probably where they got it. So I have the duffel bag, and I have, then that next year was a Cadillac bicycle, 10-speed. I could probably put it up for sale right now. Not ridden a lot. We'll say that, as you can tell if you're watching the YouTube video. Hopefully.
How'd it come about? How did?
It was just his Christmas present. He gave everyone on set.
Oh, that's
I've
awesome.
never even seen one ever like in the wild. Like, who makes Cadillac bicycles?
Oh, okay. So it's a bicycle. I thought it
10-speed
might be like a
bicycle.
motorcycle.
No, 10-speed bicycle.
That's awesome.
We show up. He's like, because they send out an email then, and they're like, Christmas presents are in, and everybody's like, yeah, let's just show up and go get our Christmas present. And I like show up, and I'm like, yeah, it's a 10-speed bike in LA. Like, I live in an apartment. I'm not riding my bike around, but this is a great. And so it's made every trip I've ever made. I'm like, I just can't dump the bike, man.
Your joke makes so much sense, more sense now, because you're like, you can tell by the YouTube, I'm not riding. I was like, dude, you look exactly like a guy that ride a motorcycle. What are you talking about?
10-speed, yeah. No, I do look like motorcycle. Yeah.
I slap a leather vest
And I
on you,
can't
dude,
ride a
you're in.
motorcycle for anything. This is wild. This car's in there. My greatest vehicle Jay Leno story is when I was there, the announcer was Stuttering John from Howard Stern, John
Okay.
Melendez. He had jumped on. And I became a man on the street interview correspondent, what they call it. And they are doing some shuffling. Some people had left. Yeah, so we were there, and me, Stuttering John, Jay, pre-show, standing on set. I think I just maybe finished my rehearsal part. And, as you can imagine, Leno gets tons. At this point, it was emails and letters of people like, man, I got a cool car. You need to add to your collection. All these people that was like, they always got something for him. And he was even telling us, he was like, some people have some cool things and they try to want to sell it to me. And I think most of the time they just want to get a story of, that I was interacting with them. And he goes, if I've ever did a deal, I overpay because I don't want them to later be like, them telling their friends, and some car guy's like, Jay Leno stiffed you on that car. So he's like, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Like every interaction I've ever had with him, super nice guy. So this one day we're talking, and just us three sitting on set, and he said he got an email from this guy in Tennessee that wanted him to come. He goes, man, I got a Dale Earnhardt Harley Davidson. And I want you to have it because I know you appreciate it. I don't ride motorcycles. So if you want it, it's yours. I don't care about making money. I just want it to get to somebody that will enjoy it. And so he's like, goes back and forth, making sure the guy's not just, leading him on. And he ends up going to meet the guy. The guy takes him out on his property. He goes, I got this property from my family, and it's got this barn. And we were starting to clean out the barn. And this Dale Earnhardt Harley's in there. And he's like, why do you think it's Dale Earnhardt? And he goes, got a big old number 3 on it. And he's like, okay. So he's, obviously, if it's got a 3 anywhere on it, it's Earnhardt.
Duh.
And so he goes, okay. So he goes back there, and it's like this old Harley. And he's like, hey, man, this is like, I don't even care if it's Dale Earnhardt's. This is like a legit old Harley. Like, this is a cool piece. And he's like, well, man, I don't ride them, man. I just want you to buy it, man. You just have it. It's yours, man. Whatever you want, whatever you think it's worth, man. And he's like looking at it, and he's like, where's the number 3? And he goes, oh, gas tank opens up. He opens it up, and it's got a 3 on it. And he's like, I don't think that's Dale Earnhardt. I just something's telling me it's not Dale Earnhardt. And he's like, if you want me to buy it and take it, I'll take it. But I'm just being honest with you. I don't think it's Dale Earnhardt. And so he's like, we agreed on a price. I give him more than I promised him, and pictures, and he's calling the cousins. Jay Leno's over at my house. And so he's doing all this. He gets it back. He starts looking at it, piecing it, cleaning some stuff up. Well, he finds the serial number, and he calls Harley because he knows Harley because he's got so much stuff. And Harley's like, "Where did you get this bike?" And he's like, "Got it from a dude at a barn." And he goes, "Yeah, we've been looking for this bike." And he's like, "What is it?" And he goes, "We made 3 custom Harleys for Elvis. We have the other 2 in the Harley Museum, and nobody's ever been able to find the third. That's why it's got the number 3, so we could tell it was the third one. Like we numbered them 1, 2, 3. That's Elvis's vintage Harley. He clearly just drove it, whatever the case may be, parked it in the barn. So he's got a Elvis Harley because the guy thought it was Dale Earnhardt.
That's disappointing. Too bad it's not Dale.
However, at the end, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
So it wasn't Dale.
Yeah, you're saying this is a sad story, right? You got jobbed for once. They're like, the Harley people are like wanting him to sell it and give it. I don't know what he's done now, but at that time he's like, nah, I'm going to hold on to it for a while because, it's like a super cool piece. I'm like,
Yeah.
Not number 3, bro. You got tore up on that deal, buddy.
He pulls up to the Tonight Show in a Elvis onesie.
Right, it'd be cooler if you were in the all black.
I do love the idea of just the 3 being Dale Earnhardt everywhere. Like, wow, Chance the Rapper. Who knew? He really.
Yeah. Just anywhere there's a 3.
You got a grandpa buying the Chance the Rapper flat bill. It's just like, whoa, bro.
Yeah, 3's the Intimidator guy. Everybody knows that.
So speaking of Intimidator, this scene's awesome when he walks in and takes a gambling stake. Yeah, chubby Billy Bob. Yeah.
Well, it's chubby.
I was about to say
for Billy Bob.
Easy.
For Billy Bob.
Yeah, you've got chubby next to you, brother. That's my goal weight for next year. I announced today my goal for the summer is to lose enough weight where I don't make noise when I get out of the car. It's not going well, by the way. As you heard when I pulled up, you just got to yell when you get out.
Oh, I didn't even open the door. I was like, Casio's here.
You heard me yell. Somebody yelling at the neighbors? No, it's him getting out of the car. Hey, this is a big moment. This is him showing, why it's the more psychological killer. You know what I mean? Like, he does a lot of words and intimidation. Like, this is...
Smoke that skin. Skin it.
This showed you right here, like, nah, I'm not messing with this guy.
Even the line when he's like, you're scared. And he goes, I'm not scared. He goes, I can see it in your eyes. And it's like, it's not even a question. He's just like, this is a fact.
Yeah, fact. I mean, somebody begging you to pull your gun, you're like, yeah, this is probably going bad for me. I'm in a bad situation now.
That's one of my favorite quotes when he just goes, are you going to do something or stand there and bleed?
Stand there and bleed is...
You going to do something or just stand there and bleed? No? I didn't think so.
Dude, you've never said a cooler line in your life.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to bleed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. If somebody said it to me, I would. I go, yeah, that was my plan. Like right here, he's coming with a gun. Oh, and there we go. The coolest man ever to grace a movie screen.
He steals the movie.
Oh, no, yeah. It should be called Doc Holliday. You talk about quotes. Every line he does is a absolute heater.
Mm-hmm. Even right here when he's just like, oh, sorry, I forgot you were there. And what a cast. The whole ensemble here is incredible.
I mean, again, some of them we didn't know at the time. A lot of them we did. But there's so many that turned out to be like, whoa, this was a huge cast. I mean, Billy Bob's an extra in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
They don't even give him enough screen time to kill him. Yeah. They're just like, nah.
You can't even just stand there. There's literally not a character in this movie where you're like, yeah, I really wasn't digging that guy. Or that guy really wasn't playing his part. Like, they're all believable. They're all nail it.
My one bone with this movie is I feel like what's his name? Not Ivan. Oh gosh.
Which one?
The bad guy. He's always drunk. The actor in the movie is drunk the whole time.
He was drunk on set. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's what they.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's sweating.
He's
the
red
whole
faced.
time. They're like, you kind of knew that before you read it.
What's that?
What's
Stephen
his name?
Lang. Stephen Lang.
Is he the main bad guy?
No, but
No,
he
not
should
Curly
be.
Bill. No, yeah,
He's more of a satisfying death to me in this movie than anybody.
Johnny Ringo.
No, it's literally like
it's the one they knock him out and put him in jail, which starts the
to
whole
me. He's
feud.
like the Draymond Green of cowboys because he like comes in, he's like, I don't have a gun.
Oh, that
Ike.
guy.
And then, Ike, yeah. And then he goes in there, gets a gun, and it's like trying to shoot him in the back, and it's
He
like,
dies off screen, right? Yeah.
he's the worst.
He dies in like the epilogue. They're just like, and he died 2 years later.
Yeah. Here's my favorite: is like the whole movie. Anytime a situation breaks out, he has no gun.
Mm-hmm.
He gets punked. I mean, even at the OK Route, he doesn't have a gun. He's like trying to cure his hangover. His head's in the bucket of water. And by the way, when this movie came out, was she like the most elegant, beautiful lady on the planet?
Oh yeah,
I mean, look at that, dude. Oh, yeah.
yeah. She was nice.
She's a fair lady.
Yeah, dude. You're like, that's class, dude.
Mm-hmm.
An umbrella is class.
Yeah, whatever. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
In the sun too.
An umbrella when
That's
it's not raining, it's
Yeah,
class. This is the reverse of me going to Los Angeles. They're like the actors coming to Tombstone. I was like Tombstone coming to Los Angeles. We're like, what are you doing here?
I read that Val Kilmer was talking about they actually wore like real wool and stuff and dressed how they were dressed like in the westerns. And he's like, that's why Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday killed so many people because they were miserably hot and
Grumpy.
uncomfortable. They were just hot as hell wearing wool in the desert.
I mean, look at this cast.
They said it was 130 in there when they filmed this.
It looks like it, yeah.
It looks so hot and muggy.
We got Priestley here. Isn't that Priestley?
Yeah.
What's his name? The guy that they make fun of all the time.
Yeah, the nerd.
Yeah.
Their accountant for their
Yeah,
Cowboys.
Nerd's a good word.
Yeah.
We're skirting around. I think they've made some hints here. Very good. Oh, see, that is every girlfriend I've ever had.
What?
Super hot. You're like, man, I can't believe they're together. And then by the end of it, she's a drug addict and we broke up. Yeah, she's on opium now.
Yeah.
She spent 7 years with Casio. I mean, I kind of see it. You know what I mean? Dude, when I get to LA, I want to go like an opium den. Like they got to still have
Oh,
those.
man.
Like I just thought that was the drug. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask you which drug you would take on here because Curly Bill looks like he has a blast.
Yeah. He's having the time of his life.
Mm-hmm.
What is she on the
They said laudanum.
Laudanum, yeah.
Laudanum, yeah.
Like
They
think
had,
about
like,
the day
morphine
when
in it, too.
think about the day when it's just like I need a headache. Okay, we're giving you the strongest drug on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's highly addictive. Okay. Cool. Oh, there he is.
I love this. Yeah, it's for like headaches.
Yeah.
For like a small 110-pound white
Yeah.
woman.
But what we've got is this bottle of the highest potent drug you've ever heard of. Would you like to take it? Yeah.
Your head won't hurt.
No,
you won't
no.
feel anything. Matter of
No,
fact,
no more.
It is funny thinking of these Cowboys. I know they need entertainment, but it's funny about thinking about them being like, let's go see this play.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was cool that they did the bottle of whiskey
They
to
showed the-
change
yeah.
the color. That was so
That's
neat.
like a peek behind show
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
You're like, whoa, what's happening?
I'm there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get you a gold watch, but not just any gold watch.
Okay.
I got you a Goldberg watch.
Whoa. Oh, WCW. Oh, it's working.
Dude, he talks. He tells you what time it is. Now the time's wrong. I haven't said it, but he'll
Wait,
it-
do you know my story about Goldberg?
So I saw that you have a Goldberg figurine, and
do.
I've heard you talk about Goldberg being like someone you love as a wrestler.
It just shows his face.
Yeah.
No, but it also does full body shots.
Yeah, I
Hands
see it
up,
now.
he's,
Shows
flexing.
flexes.
It's like he's like the pet. Do y'all remember the
Oh,
nano
yeah, I
pet
thought
or
that's
whatever?
what, a Tamagotchi.
Yeah, like you can feed Goldberg.
I gotta feed him after we get through this
Well, you gotta
podcast.
clean up his shit too.
That's a big one.
yeah,
isn't it, Goldberg?
yeah. Oh,
Well, Goldberg came. I'm a huge wrestling fan, wrestling podcast, the whole deal, and it's Velcro, and I can't work it, guys. Good sign. Double straps is really throwing me off. Oh, it's got like a buckle so it doesn't fall off when you're wrestling. Probably.
Yeah.
And it fits. Did you measure my wrist secretly while we?
yeah.
Y'all do some research.
dude.
You're like, I bet his wrist size is
I was
right
like,
here.
It's about a 14-incher.
Which is good because I have slender wrists for being such a fat dude. So that was a good move by you. To guess
I
that
knew
size.
you were all biceps.
Yeah, I carry my weight not in my joints.
yeah, no.
It's all in the gut and the man boobs. I have pretty small ankles too from fat man. What were we talking? Oh, Goldberg.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, huge wrestling fan all my life. Kind of went away. If you're into wrestling as a kid, then you get to kind of a time one of your friends yells wrestling's fake, and you realize wrestling's not cool, and then you're like trying to keep your fandom down to a minimum, and then something later kind of brings you in, and that was the WCW Monday Night Wars, which happened with WWF. Well, they start promoting Goldberg as undefeated, and I thought it was the coolest gimmick ever. And so I'm like all in. I just started in radio. I'm with Rick and Bubba. I'm just out of high school. I'm working on my birthday at the radio station, and I'm running some syndicated like John Garabedian's house party or something syndicated that somebody just had to run the board for. And I got this little TV in the corner of the studio, and it's my birthday, and Goldberg wins the championship on my birthday. And so that was like a cool moment. Like I never forget for any reason, like Goldberg won the championship. It's my birthday. I'm on this tiny screen. Like it was a moment that's emblazoned in my head. And then later, many years down the road, this gentleman has the real big gold wrestling belt, which is the real championship that he held, Ric Flair held. Anybody who had the WCW championship, he has the real belt that they used to use. And for a while, it was a kind of a top secret deal. And they were doing writing a book about the history of that belt and who had it and when they had it and where it went, and just a cool history of wrestling kind of behind that belt. And so they needed to get a picture of him holding it. So the deal was like anybody who held it, it was cool for the book to get a picture, right? But you don't want to go walking around going, this is the real one, because then you sound like an idiot, because there's 72 champions in line, but their belt is like, look at this, First time I took a girlfriend to one of these wrestling conventions that we work at, she gets to the end, she's like, hey, should I know all these people? And I'm like, you mean like the people like selling 8x10s and stuff? And she's like, no, like all the people here. And I'm like, no, why would you say that? And she's like, well, they're all champions. They all have belts. And I go, that's kind of funny to say, but if I explain it to you, it's not going to be any better. They just bought those off the internet, and they just walk around with them. And she's like, yeah, it's not better. You should have just told me they're all champions of like whatever city they come from. I'm like, no, they're just bought them.
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, this is a really weird place right now.
I'm going to drink my morphine now.
Where's my laudanum? I'm going to go in the corner and get high.
That was when it started.
Yeah. So the Goldberg meeting, I had the dubious task of taking and getting a picture taken with him holding the belt so we could use it for the book. And as I'm standing in line and I finally get up there, and I'm like, I had met some wrestlers at this time and met a bunch of, comedians and things like you just meet guests and radio and all that good stuff. So you try not to fanboy out too much. And so while I'm standing there waiting in line to get to the front to get this picture, they're selling this big, huge figurine, and it's like $150. And I'm just like, I panic by it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing it. Because what am I going to say when I get up there with this belt and I'm like wanting him to get a picture with the belt like an idiot? So I get the figurine, sit down, get him to sign it, and then he's like, "You want a picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I got this huge wrestling belt, and I'm holding the belt out, like trying to get a shot of just him, like for the book, because you don't want me in the book, like standing with him, my arm around him. And so I'm like scooting over, and he keeps scooting close to me because he's like trying to make a good picture, and I'm just like scooting away from him. And so finally, I look up, my buddies that are there and the guy with the book, they're like, get out of the picture. get out of the. And so finally I'm like, here, hold this. And I go, it feels real, doesn't it? And he actually like holds it for a second. And he goes, yeah, man, that feels like, this is like a good belt. Like, instead of just some generic cheap toy that he's used to. He's like, boy, this got some weight to it. Like, it's a good looking belt. And dude, he holds it up. Picture taken. We've got the picture. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't. But he's like, you don't want to get in here? And I'm like, nope. So I have no picture with Goldberg, one of my favorite wrestlers ever. And he thinks I'm the weirdest dude ever. I snuck out of my own picture. And he's scooting towards me. And I'm like, no, just scoot away. Get away. I don't want to be near you. Yes, I have no memory of meeting my hero there, my wrestling hero.
But now you can look at him and remember that.
And he talks to you daily now.
This is going to be so good. What does he say? You're next?
He'll literally tell you the time. If you here, hit that button.
Okay, hang on.
It's Goldberg time.
You've watched 30 seconds of wrestling your entire life, haven't you?
Honestly, Goldberg, I remember when he won the championship.
That was peak of my wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay.
NWO.
NWO versus WCW.
Yeah, the Wars was the peak, man.
Yeah.
Red and Black Wolfpack.
No, but like you, it felt like
It
just went uncool really quick,
Yeah. Now, there's a point where one of your friends goes, yeah, that's just all fake. And you're like, yeah. Who would watch that? And I got into the podcasting world, luckily. One of my closest friends, one of my best friends, if not my best friend, if he's watching, you're my best friend. But Conrad Thompson is the podfather of wrestling. He took all wrestling podcasts to the next level. So luckily being, I'm Brutus the Barber Beefcake and he's Hulk Hogan. So
what are you dudes gonna do when the Barber, the Blade, and Hulkamania run wild on you?
And if you know anything about wrestling, basically Brutus the Barber Beefcake was friends with Hulk, and he was just employed most of the time so he could carry the weed through the airport. Because Hulk couldn't get arrested, but Brutus the Barber Beefcake could get arrested and miss a show, and nobody would care. So I'm basically his Brutus the Barber Beefcake. But I'm in the podcasting world, and talking to all these. It's cool because now people our age, you're back in it. You have a expendable income. You can go do things. You can buy memorabilia. You can go to these conventions and meet people that you idolized as a kid, So it's the whole game has changed in the wrestling podcast world. And he helped kind of take it to where it is and start that. So I've did either one-off shows or filled in for him or had my own run with different wrestling podcasts. And it's pretty crazy. Like there's still some times when I'm like, dude, if you would have told teenage me, like, you're doing a podcast with Jim Ross, you know what I mean? You'd be like, what are you talking about?
A podcast? What is that?
Yeah, what's a podcast, first of all? And then second of all, I'm never in my life going to talk to Jim Ross, about anything that would ever interest him whatsoever. But so it's pretty fascinating. And wrestling is as big as it's bigger. This was pretty. I heard the director talking about this scene and the final scene, where he's out with Johnny Ringo and Doc Holliday, and they do the final shootout. You don't just see the desert action in a Western all the time. Like he was like, I wanted to show greenery and woods, and like they didn't just live in the desert. I mean, it is Arizona, but still, there's still other nature scenes out there.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, they definitely have more locations than the typical Western.
I mean, it starts off that, and then you start seeing this, and you're like, whoa, that's a pretty cool place.
Yeah, it's not just all like, woo, and the little, what are those?
Tumbleweeds.
Yeah, tumbleweeds.
Yeah, tumbleweeds and snakes the whole time.
Yeah.
Wonk, wonk, wonk.
They actually filmed a scene of them getting busy right after this, but they cut it out of the movie because it felt like he was moving too fast and cheating on his wife too quick.
That makes sense they cut that out, though, because like everyone acts like they're like cheating and stuff.
What's in the trailer? Do you know that?
Yeah.
What, the sex scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
The sex scene's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like a quick clip. They're laying with each other.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny whenever he's talking about his wife, like talking to the wife. What do you do today? I wish he's like, oh, I had a lovely picnic.
Yeah, like what did you do back then? What else could I do?
Yeah.
I was hot as hell.
Yeah.
Try not to kill everyone.
I took off 7 layers of clothes in the woods with a lady. and I was still clothed. They took off 7 layers of clothes.
They would never catch you cheating back then because of the smells, because everyone smell horrible. You smell like that. Yeah, it is.
I love you. He acts like that's the standard of catching somebody of cheating. Boy, there's some smells in here. Did you sleep with somebody while I was gone? Nope, everyone stinks. You can't smell anything. It's easy to cheat. There's bad smells everywhere.
It's easy to cheat when everyone stinks.
We all stink. You don't know if I slept with an unclean woman.
I got nose blindness. I'll never know.
It actually smells better. Maybe you did cheat. Look at him. What's your idea of having room service? How about that? What a line that is.
Yeah. One time I got room service, and I was in a hotel in Mississippi, and I went to set the tray out. I was late at night. It was like cake and something. I was setting the tray out in the hall. And when I did, the door closed behind me, and I see my underwear. I had to
Walk
go
out.
all the way down to the front to get a key.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
yeah. It was the only time room service has ever done me bad.
What about you?
No room service stories. All good.
You look like the guy that like sets up his video camera and is jerking off and gets the maid to come in to catch you.
Well, I have those channels too. That's not affiliated with the podcast, but
Cooper Manning this thing.
Manning. It's a side pod movie. It's not movie ruiner.
It's only available on Patreon.
Yeah. Oh, that's your Patreon. Yeah. It's him surprising maids.
it's not doing well. I don't know why.
Well, give it out. Let's get it. Let's get it. You got to promote it, man. You got to promote the Patreon.
Let that thing breathe.
Let that. We're talking about smells again. See, this is where we went off the rails.
Next thing we got you a Christmas ornament of you
Of me.
kayaking in mashed potatoes.
Man, that was one of my favorite posts when I wasn't banned from Facebook. Did y'all know I'm banned?
I didn't know you were banned.
6-month banned.
For what? I have a theory.
Okay. What's your theory?
Well, so
I got a theory.
when I was doing my research, I found you did a post and you were showing your Christmas tree off,
Okay.
but in the background you had porn on the wall, but it was Trailer
It's Trailer
Trash
Trash
Cammy. So I got your 2004
Look, first of
24
all,
calendar.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't know I already had it. But
Oh man.
and she signed the towel. I met her a few months ago. But I'm going to leave this in the car. This is going to be my car version. Just in case.
I saw that you had the 2023 one, and I was like, I'm going to give the 2024
I
one.
actually forget about that until I post something and somebody be like, hey, what's going on there to the left? Yeah, my wife, I saw some of the TikToks and everything, was a fan. And then my wife got super into her. She loved every second of her. And then one day I come home and that calendar is like on the counter and I'm like, what's going on here? Why do we have
It's
this?
a rated R calendar.
Yeah. That's the most clothes she's got on in the entire calendar.
Show him the back.
Oh wow. Graphic.
That's the most clothes she's got on. He said, oh, wow. Graphic. Graphic is a polite way to put it.
I might could hire her as a maid.
Yeah, here we go. You're leaning into your character. I like it. And so what's funny is we put it up. I just thought it was hilarious. You know, I don't have kids. I don't have anything like that. Well, my sister, she moved from Georgia to Huntsville, where I'm based out of. And when she first got there, while we were waiting on her house to close, she crashed with us because her house was like, that she lives in now is just a couple miles from my house. And she has a daughter that is 13. And so, like, literally the second night, you know, I'm trying to be like super uncle. Hey, what do you want to watch? What are the kids watching these days? You know, trying to put something on TV that she'll watch. And she finally goes to bed. My sister is dying laughing. She's like, she texted me from the couch and said, why does Uncle Matt have a picture of a naked lady hanging up by his television? And I was like, There's no good way to explain it. It's just, you know why? Because it's February. That's why.
My wife actually wanted that.
Yeah, it was just not any better. My wife's a huge fan of seeing her naked. So that's like telling everybody we go to Hooters because my wife loves the wings. Yeah. Tammy is a gem. Great podcast too. Have you ever listened to it?
I haven't.
Great podcast. It's called The Viral Podcast, and she brings her cast of characters on the road with her. So hey, Chelsea, great stuff. She's so good. And I've looked at her naked a lot. I have a desk calendar now. I put it because when you ordered this one, did you get a bonus deal?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't pre-order.
I did not pre-order.
Pre-order, you get a little mini desk calendar, and I forget I have that on my desk. Now, luckily,
Yeah.
my desk is radio, so it's
Yeah.
not like we even have an HR department.
Yeah.
But it's just tits galore sitting right there on the. People walk in, and you'll see, especially when I switch month. I guess they become titty blind after a while. You were saying, nose blind. I think they become titty blind after a month. Because then when I switch it to the next one, they'll come in. Hey, did you get that? Golly, look at that. Well, what's that? Why is she on a four-wheeler with no clothes?
That's dangerous.
You're like, what are you talking?
Is
I'm
she
like,
washing the Confederate flag?
what are we talking about? Right? Oh, yeah, Tammy. Yeah, she's naked right there.
Back to the Christmas one a bit.
Oh,
So we always ask our guests, and you were talking about finding out wrestling was fake. Do you remember finding out Santa Claus wasn't real?
no. So you're going to put me in a montage at the end of the year. I know what this is about. Mashed potatoes. What were we talking about? If you know me, I have a giant love for mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah. I love your taters hat.
I actually have it in my hat. Yeah, did you see the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, just got that. It's gonna be my masterpiece right there. That might be my gimmick. You just never see me without the mashed potatoes hat. This particular scene, I went kayaking and I just put on Facebook. Y'all just photoshopped me with mashed potatoes like Paula Dean. There was one with Paula Dean like diving in, and I was like, "It's the greatest meme ever." And as you know, if it just needs somebody to lay the first comment in on any post, and so that was one of the photoshops. I'm in all kind of different mashed potatoes.
Oh, I was cracking up going through them.
They were amazing.
That was one of the more that one just made me laugh so much because you just look so excited to be in the mashed potatoes.
And by the way, I would. If I was in a kayak in a bowl this big, we're talking about life size. Yeah, not this big. This is
Not the scale.
This is one spoonful. I would be that excited, by the way. I would be super pumped about that. You think Tammy got me banned?
Well, I was just thinking, if you're posting all these pictures and in the background there's a naked lady and all.
There's giant breasts. It's even worse. They have leveled double digit, probably over 50 charges. It's all because of the same picture, but over 50 charges of posting child porn.
How'd this come about?
Yeah. No. You said you can't
What
say
a cliffhanger for the real this is.
Yeah. I knew you know Chris Hansen from your podcast, but now I'm questioning how.
That's how we got him there. We had a history. There's this kid. I screenshotted it last time because they did it the first couple times. I signed in. And it was like, you're suspended for 7 days or something. And I'm like, it was like, if you want to appeal here. So I'm like, I don't even know what I'm banned for. I'm like, I'm definitely not posting child porn. So I click it, and it's this picture. And when you appeal it, it was 24 hours, because all it is AI looking for whatever, scanning for whatever. And the AI suspends you. You appeal it. It tells you, humans will look at your case and tell you, and every time, immediately overturned. It's not child porn. They know that every time. But it keeps getting flagged. And these are in the first ones I got suspended for. This was this year, beginning of this year, maybe late last year, were posted in 2014. And they're just now flagging me on it. Then it was
Statute of limitation.
Yeah, really. I didn't even know I was on Facebook in 2014. I thought I was riding my space wave still in 2014. I'm going to show you all the picture because I took a screenshot. Well, this final time, they were like, I signed in one day, and they were like,
Oh my God, that's a naked baby.
Is that the kid from Nirvana?
Is that a hotel mate in the background? What's happening? Is that Cooper Manning? I'm not going to be able to find it, but I mean, I'll show y'all later.
We'll post it later.
Yeah, I don't want the awkward silence of me looking for my child porn case. Do you think it'd be at the top of the list of my favorites, but it's not. Here's what happened. I found this, and somebody else posted it on Facebook. I'm not smart enough to find this picture. It's a picture of a kid. He's a toddler. He's got on shorts. His diaper's sticking out of the top of the shorts. He's shirtless. He's got a hat on backwards. He's like standing up against the wall. He has his hands down his pants, and he's looking at his phone. Okay? And so I saw it, and everyone tags me in recipes. If it's got mashed potatoes in it or, fried Oreos or whatever, they think I'm at home cooking. I'm not, okay? But everybody tags me in recipes. So that was my go-to. Somebody would share this is double buttery mashed potato recipe from my meemaw. And they would post it on my Facebook page. So I'd post the kid like I'm looking at my phone, excited to be looking at the mashed potatoes. Well, when I found it, I just did it everywhere. Like it was my gimmick for like a year. And so I got 57 charges all piled up at once. The best part, my co-host in radio in Huntsville, Jimbo Wood on Rocket 95.1, he stole it from me and started doing it, and now he's banned. But this last one...
Yeah, no show promotion at all.
Yeah, no. We have zero. We're trying to figure out if we should start ghost accounts just so we can post on the station accounts. But
Jimbo Casio live.
Yeah, we have nothing. We have nothing. So we have nothing on Facebook. I don't exist on Facebook anymore. And by the way, you don't realize how much stupid stuff you have on Facebook. Like you're like, oh, I can go find that on my Facebook. I got that picture here or that video here. And I didn't realize how many things I'd signed in via Facebook, like other apps. Don't do that, guys. You can't get into your apps. I'm banned from a lot of things.
I haven't told anyone happy birthday in 2 years.
Yeah, I'm banned from Spotify for a while. Oh, no. I was banned. I'm still banned from Zoom. I can't log into Zoom. I'm paying for it. I got to cancel my subscription because I'm banned because I can't log in.
Because of child porn.
Yeah, so I've still got 6 months, probably 5 months now. My account is under review.
You're blackballed by all the entertainment.
Every day I click and I'm like, still banned. Damn it.
You've been canceled.
Yeah, I've been canceled, but by a robot.
Yeah.
Not even the fun cancel. I'm going to show you all the picture, and you're going to be like, yeah, that's not. I don't even know what you've got it imagined. I did show one friend, and he was like, ooh, that's a little worse than I thought. And I was like, oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
No, you're on my side.
They might have a point.
Yeah, everybody's supposed to be on my side. Oh, I'm going to do a screenshot. If I find this. What do you think? What's your thoughts? Is it what you imagined or worse?
You did a good job explaining it.
Look, you don't know what it is. He's like, what?
It looks like little you.
I was doing that a lot. Hand in the pants.
Yeah, you're. It looks like you shared or sent something that shows children in a sexual way, even if it only to express outrage. No, it was joy. What does that mean? What does that mean? Even if only to express outrage. This is joy.
You know what I'm realizing? We're not going to be able to put this picture on our profile because we'll get banned for
Hey, I tweeted it. I tweeted this exact screenshot and said, I'm banned from Facebook for this. Let's see what happens. Nothing. They don't care.
Oh, yeah. It's
X
lawless.
doesn't care.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, X is a godless, lawless place.
No. You can do whatever you want. I'm like this, and they're like, you're tame, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, there's straight up, I'll be flipping through, and there's just straight up porn on there nowadays. There was...
You're seeing a different timeline.
Oh,
and I would like for you to start giving me porn.
No, I'll tell you, here's where it is. It's like, you won't believe what Sydney Sweeney looks like in these scenes. And I'm like, all right, I might could believe it. And I click it. And then someone's like, look at me and how I look in these scenes. And it's like girls try to get you to subscribe to their OnlyFans and stuff.
There's a lot of that.
And it's literally like, I'm here for Sydney Sweeney, and that's it.
Only.
Yeah.
I'm only here for Sydney Sweeney. I don't want any naked girls besides Sydney.
But you click on that stuff enough, and it messes up your algorithm.
Oh, but look, dude, mine,
Trust me, he has naked kids
Yeah.
everywhere.
you just do some of mine. Because I can't. I'm banned. No, my X feed for you, I get so mad when it flips to for you, but then you get caught up looking at something they've given you. You're like, you son of a...
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're killing me right now. Also, though, I clicked for the absurdity. I clicked one conspiracy theory, and I am not a conspiracy theory guy at all. I believe none of them. I'm like probably too hardcore against conspiracy theories because there's got to be some of them real. But me, I'm like, no chance.
Yeah, government will
If
lie.
you just start going, hey, you know what's really happening? I go, no, I don't, and I don't want to know.
I
I'm
think
out.
Earth is rounder than people say it is, actually.
Yeah, it's all round.
Yeah.
It's not even round, it's a triangle. It's nothing like anybody. Now all I get's those. Oh, here we go.
I was gonna ask, you think Doc Holliday was cheating here?
Yeah, oh yeah. You pimps, look at it. They're pimps.
Yeah, Doc Holliday did not run a straight poker game. No
No
way.
chance.
No way.
Was that 15 hands in a row? He's mad. Don't you ever try to manhandle a cowboy.
Who would you rather have yell at you? Kurt Russell or Sam Elliott?
In this movie?
Yeah.
Sam, probably. I mean, Kurt is a psychological genius in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything he
true.
says is like, boy, that was hardcore, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, he's intimidating.
I think I'd rather have Kurt yell at me, but I would hate for Virgil to tell me he was disappointed in me.
Yeah. Or later when he gets shot and he's like, not now. Like he's making him shut up. He keeps going, what's going, not now, what? You're like, dude, quit talking to me. Man.
Just let me die.
Yeah, just let me die.
This whole thing could have been avoided.
Shut the fuck up. Let me die in peace.
I think the scariest job would be being a bartender at an old time West saloon.
Ah, yeah.
Because you're just like never really armed, but you're always like in the line of fire.
Well, that's how I felt when they're doing the play and they're just shooting at the guy. And he's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
the show must go on.
Yeah, by the way, there's no bartender from that era that's that old as this guy.
Yeah.
They all died quickly at like 22. Shot to death in their own bar.
This is like the funniest, like, he's right behind you.
Oh, it's great.
It's honestly the biggest whiff when he goes to hit him in the
Oh,
head.
it's real bad. It's one of the weaker moments.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, because then later it's like on the top of his head, and you're like, you didn't even hit his ear, bro.
I do always now when I'm checking out and closing my tab at place, I'm like, I won't take no mouth from bartender. You know, they don't like that.
What I ain't gonna do is take no lip from bartender. Oh, we hadn't even got to Thomas Hayden Church is in.
Oh
here.
yeah, man.
Huh?
Lyle from Georgia the Jungle,
Now look, now look.
as he's famously known.
You guys have talked about it before in previous episodes. They do a pretty good job in this movie of nobody's got an over the top accent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Everyone
totally
has
agree.
such bad Southern accents that it's over the top. Everyone in here seems believable.
I never once even questioned the accents
No,
until you said that. I never even thought about that.
yeah. That's why. Because every time you watch anybody from the South, it's just the stupidest
Michael
thing.
Rappaport in Justified. Dude, he tries to be from Kentucky, and he's from New Jersey, dude. He has no business trying to do a Southern
And we
accent.
don't want to try to
It's
hear him do it.
Awful.
Just so I'm clear, you not gonna kill me? Cause I was worried for a minute.
Oh, be worried.
Yeah?
Because that web of bullshit you spun around yourself to protect yourself, I'm going to use to strangle the life out of you.
Last gift we got you.
We got him. We got the wanted Oh, these are quality paper. Well, it's got some good weight to it.
Yeah, those are the real thing.
Oh, it's got the real version and the characters from the movie on the other one.
So let me ask you this.
Oh,
Most important question in the movie.
oh no.
How would you rank the mustaches in this movie?
Ooh, this is tough, man. To me, it's Wyatt. Oh no, wait. If we're going all facial hair, it's Doc. You got the little pointy little flavor saver down there.
Yeah.
Mustache only, I like Kurt.
To me, when you have the mustache with the little flavor,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
too French. I don't
It
know
is.
why.
During or right before COVID, no, it was actually a little bit before that because I was single. I had a full beard and I decided to cut Doc Holliday. Just mustache and just Flavor Saver. And I cut it. I didn't tell my buddy. He goes, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm like, a Doc Holliday. And he goes, no, you're a French painter right now. You're like a poet. And I'm like, no, I'm Doc Holliday from Tombstone. He goes, no, you're not. You're not even, like, I didn't even think he's doing a Doc Holliday. He goes, I thought it was something French for sure. Like, not a good look.
That's why I couldn't tell if his was the best or the worst, because it's like he's so cool, he pulls it off.
Oh, he for sure
but if
pulls
I
it
had that mustache, everyone would be making fun of me. It's like
you were. I wouldn't quit staring at you. If you had it right now. And be like, we're not going to acknowledge that. By the way, they said the whistle right here was ad libbed. When he starts whistling down the street, they said nobody told him to do it. He just started whistling.
Which is, I love that, like, that's a no. People are like, no way, dude, he just started whistling. Holy shit.
It's like, what else are you doing?
My improv god, Val Kilmer.
how did he not get the Oscar?
See, here's like, without a gun again, washing off his hangover. And by the way, our drinking water. I appreciate that. You washing your hangover out in the drinking water we're having in the middle of the yard here. Oh, dude, when he winks, man, right here, and it's game on, the tension right here is incredible.
Great showdown.
That might have been why it hurt.
Bill Paxton watching this the whole time watching, I'm like, he's got to die.
Oh,
yeah.
One, he's not the
Yeah.
bigger star. Two, his mustache is kind of not great. And like,
But he did it great. He did it where it was believable. It wasn't like, what's he doing over there? Like, he played it like, oh yeah, we all know that.
he
guy.
knew his place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
He did it
he
perfect.
did well. But every time he gets shot and survives, I'm shocked. I'm like, whoa.
Even when he, like, becomes a sheriff, he's like, I mean, I had to do it. My other brother, like, he's like, I didn't make the decision, man.
Yeah.
I'm just following.
He does not want to be involved in this.
Yeah, this is the Draymond Green moment. Where he's,
Yeah. You come out the side shoot.
yeah.
Oh, he's shot in the leg.
Also, what a reckless way to break a window.
That's Draymond coming back out of the tunnel and getting the crowd going.
Look at Doc. This run by, though, is the greatest thing ever.
Is shooting.
Just he keeps going back and forth. How did she not get shot?
Because she's too pretty.
That's fact.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big fact.
Ike,
And
man.
here's the deal. I love Stephen Lang, that guy that plays him.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he's in a TV show, I'm like, oh, I'm going to give it a chance because he's in it. And it lasts one season. Every time. Never fails. I don't think I'll let you arrest us, Behan. Try telling that to a Homewood cop. I don't think I'm going to let you arrest me.
Yeah.
Not today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here's the nerd.
He's leaving. I don't want to talk to you. That's me trying to get in a fight, though. I was so him if I'm getting angry.
Yeah.
I'd say the worst stuff ever. Like, you know what? You got an ugly face.
And I don't want to talk to you right now, so you can't reply back.
Walk away. Oh, Ringo. I mean, look how cool Johnny Ringo is.
I thought his mustache, I thought his was pretty good too.
Hey, see, he's got the little flavor saver.
Some people look like they can pull off the greasy look. And
Yeah.
Johnny Ringo pulls off the greasy
Perfect.
look.
Yeah, that's that dude that hooks up with all girl, and you're like, do y'all not think he's gross? Because he's gross. You're like,
It's the smell.
they're like, no, he's just so
He's got
cool.
something.
Yeah. How many times have you said I'm your Huckleberry in life?
A lot. I worked out at the JH Ranch, and when everyone gets there, it's like this summer camp.
Okay.
And the first morning, it's like they have a rodeo. And so we actually like do a rodeo with all the people. But then at the end, there's a sketch. And it's like a play of like how the West was won. And it's basically just Tombstone. And I shit you not. There's 3 moments in the play where it's just straight like, you call down the thunder, get ready for the boom.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it church camp or just summer camp?
It's a church camp, but it's an outdoors church camp, so they trick you into thinking you're having fun.
Oh, yeah. We got sent to Chula Vista, Camp Chula Vista,
Yeah.
which that was in our area. I have a great story there. I don't know why this would be the place to tell it, but we ended up on church camps. And since you've been to a church camp in the summer in the South, you know how hot it is.
Oh, it's miserable.
And they're preaching fire and brimstone to you for 7 days in between arts and crafts.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I hope my mom sent me enough money to get another 0 bar and a Dr. Pepper tomorrow. And, they got everybody's divided, the guys' cabins and the girls' cabins.
Oh, yeah.
And you're slinging there. I mean, like in ours, one half of the cabin, it's got like 12 bunk beds in there. And like one side is everybody in your church group, and the other side's like a total random church. And you feel like a rivalry. You're like, dude, I hate this a trustful church, man. They're a bunch of heathens, dude. You know what I mean? Like, they're faking it or whatever.
Yeah.
Get to heaven, no way.
How do you think they're Christian, dude?
What are they even doing here, man?
They're here for the girls.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I should be here for the girls. And so I got 6 days to put this together to get a girlfriend. Like, I got 6 days. I got to start putting in work fast. And so I picked this girl and I'm like, all right, man, if I get a kiss out of this girl, like, this is the best church camp year ever. And things start day 3, day 4, killing them with the jokes. Sense of humor gets you a long way.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm killing it. I did have an unfortunate nickname. I was Moth Boy.
Oh,
because first night hijinks when you got to find the line with everybody, especially the other church, people's messing with people. They're like putting their hand in water when they fall asleep. And, somebody's got shampoo in their hand and trying to tickle them. All the standard mess with you when you go to sleep stuff. This one kid goes to bed. They find like 3 frogs and throw them in with him. And now he's Frog Boy. And I'm like, this is my worst nightmare, man. Because I have like one standard rule with all my buddies. When I go to sleep, let's don't mess with each other. Like, that is sacred ground, okay? You can prank me. You can call me names in front of everybody. Prank calls, whatever you want. I'm not against pranks. I just don't want you messing with me when I'm asleep. All right, let's have a standard rule. And so I'm not even asleep yet. And they, those giant like Luna moths, they're like as big as this calendar. They ripped its wings off. And so they just throw the wiggling body into the bed with me, right? And I'm like, I wake up and can feel it on me. And they're like, look at Moth Boy. And I'm like, I will kill everyone in this cabin. I will literally kill everyone, including the counselor, for letting it happen. And the counselor's just an 18-year-old that just was in camp last year.
Yeah, that looks like Brent Reed.
And you're like, he's not in charge of anything, right? And so I leaned into it later, but I fought Moth Boy for a little bit. But I'm hitting on this girl. They've preached eternal damnation to us for 7 days, and you're like, man, I'm really fighting it right now. I got the devil on my shoulder with the, flirt with the girls, and Jesus over here going, this is exactly what we're preaching to y'all and trying to get to you. And we're at the final deal, pavilion outside, 100 degrees. We're just all, sweaty and soaked. And so we're sitting there, and I do the accidental hand on the leg, and she doesn't budge. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I've touched leg. And I do the little slide to the inside, and she's like, grabs a hand. I'm like, okay. Came in a little hot there. That's on me. So I got a little excited. So I start going up, and she's not stopping. And I'm like, here it is. First boob I'm ever going to touch. This is about to be amazing. They're preaching. It's hot. Now the band's playing. People's singing. And about the time I get to nipple, it feels like I got shot by a shotgun. Okay? Something out of nowhere. Bam! And I look up. And this just happened to be the moment, guys. Can't make this up. These 7-year cicadas had hatched. There's a swarm now flying into the pavilion, hitting the ceiling fans that are launching them into everyone in the crowd. So there's 100 cicadas, hits 17 ceiling fans, and now it's like a firework going off in a firework stand. Just bam, 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 bam. They're just ricocheting cicada. Well, in my head, God has now sent a plague of locusts down for me touching boob. Okay? I have sinned, and he is willing to wipe out this entire church camp because I touched my first boob. I was like this.
This is wild.
And she's screaming, I didn't touch her. You know, I'm like, you don't know. It's like Jim Jones. There's bodies on top of bodies laid out. People don't know what's happening. I'm not sitting there. It's my fault. It's on me, guys. I touched boob over here.
This was so poignant.
Yeah. For years, I was like, hey, man, don't sin. Do not sin. He is
a vengeful guy.
Yeah, he brought a swarm just for me touching boobs.
What I
okay?
did wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, I'm like, don't do anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything else. Oh, here it is.
Yeah. I bet that was a bitch. Get all that blood out of that felt.
Right now, I need y'all to roll out a pool table that's got blood on it. We bought this online. It's the real pool table from Tombstone.
There's a 3 in the blood. It's probably Dale Earnhardt. He got shot.
Nice.
The 3 ball.
Yeah.
This was Dale Earnhardt's
This was
fault.
Dale Earnhardt.
I don't know why it's yellow.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be black.
Everybody knows it's black.
Nose.
I do wish the whole time during this scene, the owner was just like, can you just put him on the table? Like,
I just refunded it.
You know how hard it is to get felt in the desert in 1846?
Balls are never going to roll right
Yeah, I
on
know.
Oh,
that end of the table now.
I bet they played on it the next day.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, what about this death scene?
It's really depressing.
Yeah, too. When he's like, it's all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't see damn thing. You're like, whoa.
I should have touched more
Look,
titties.
That's what I look like. I had blood all over me. I'm like, you all right, girl? And then takes that obvious last breath. You're like, whoa.
Dude, that's like the death rattle. It was like his spirit leaving him. Like you like legitimately could hear it. It was creepy.
Oh, that's how I think everybody dies now. I just know now I'm gonna be like, I don't see shit.
I do love the scene in Kung Pao when the guy keeps dying. He's just like, he's like, I didn't die. I was just breathing deeply.
Taking a deep breath.
Oh, this is one of my favorite gifts
Come
to
on.
send to people.
Well, bye.
Well, bye.
It's iconic.
Anytime,
Well,
especially now with the transfer portal,
Oh,
and
yeah.
players leaving.
See ya.
I see it all
No
the time
interest.
now. Well, bye.
I did think it's a little awkward how, when he says, like, smells like dead people.
Oh.
Like, Kurt Russell is just there. He's like,
Yeah.
he takes off.
Even Curly Bill's like, Johnny, God.
Yeah. Even he's put out. He's like, come on, man. I was telling you about touching boob when Virgil got shot, but it's one of my.
It really lightened the moment, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
now it's kind of cheesy every time because I've watched this a million times, but it's kind of the cheesiest part of the movie to me, and that is when the doctor's like, "We gotta take his arm off," and he's like, "I still got one arm to hug you with, tell him, mate." And you're like, "Come on, dude."
Yeah, I was like, that's the most, like, sweet, tender thing I've ever heard Sam Elliott say.
But I wouldn't be saying that if they're cutting my arm off.
No.
I'm like, I still can hug you.
I still got my good slapping arm.
Not my right arm, please.
Yeah, this is Tombstone. He was not hugging ladies. Well, why didn't they take his arm? I thought we was going to take
He
his
just
arm.
said he couldn't use it anymore.
Well, take it off.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, just take it off.
Just the old dead arm.
Yeah, would y'all rather have no arm or just a dead arm?
Probably no arm.
I'm going no arm. You
A
going no
dead arm.
Or do you just want just a dead arm? You're thinking about it?
How dead is
It's
it?
not
is it
that
like,
close.
Is it like discolored? Is it like green?
Well, I don't know. Look at him.
Like gangrene?
Yeah, like if it's just gray.
Yeah, I'll take no arm. Why not?
Yeah, no arms.
No,
Like,
no arm's the only
Yeah,
choice.
no
here.
way.
Dead arm's real bad, man.
You got to move it.
You have to tell people all the time too. No one's gonna ask if
Yeah.
you don't have an arm.
Or you have a cool story. Dead arm, you're just like, yeah.
You're just sitting there with your boys. You're like, let me tell you something. It's gonna be banged up,
Are you trying to check your Goldberg watch? You're
guys.
flopping your.
Goldberg's such a beast. It weighs my arm down. I can't even look at it. Hey, look, it's the Crazy Train. Did you see the number?
Oh wow,
5150. Same train car that he arrived on.
that's what Ozzy Osbourne's singing about.
Yeah, Tombstone. Y'all didn't know that? Onlooker, sweet Jesus. That's the greatest caption I've ever seen. Onlooker,
Sweet Jesus.
Oh, and by the way, is this the most painful thing?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's a
When
good.
I saw that, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know. This morning I watched it. It was just like, damn, that's cool.
That's brutal.
I wish
dude.
I had spurs.
Yeah.
Ike gets away again, though. You know.
I mean, he's a little weasel.
Yeah, he's a rote.
He just keeps getting those 8-game suspensions and coming back and pissing us off.
Like McMaster's. What's his name?
The guy from Walking Dead.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Michael Rooker.
Yeah,
yes.
Rooker.
Yeah.
Like
From Jasper.
Think about that. He's in a.
Is he from Jasper?
Mm-hmm.
I said that so cold. Is
Hell
he
yeah.
from Jasper?
Hell yeah.
He's one of us.
Oh man, damn, 256, bro.
If he ever comes in here, y'all need to get him a 256 Ruben. Like, I know you're from Jack. So clearly you voted for Ruben. Everyone did. We were caught up in it. Don't lie. All three of us called and voted for Ruben.
Dude, Rube Sutter's the man.
Okay.
I'm more a Bo Bice guy.
Well, no, both. They weren't against each other.
He likes Clay Aiken.
I know.
Yeah.
You do look like a Clay guy. Look at this. The opium pipe turns into the gun. How cool is that?
Yeah, just some killing here.
I mean, this is the end of the movie is just a montage of murder.
I know.
Yeah, it's really rad, actually.
No, it's like this one's for the fellas.
And they're all different. They're all different.
Yeah.
They're all creative. Oh, come on, man. Here's where you see Wyatt walk on water, man.
God, this scene's so great.
That's where you're like, this is the ultimate badass. By the way, I've thought of some situations I don't want to be in. Laying behind a stump in a shootout, not high on the list of places I'd like to end up. Like, give me a building, but I don't want to be laying in the sand on a creek bank.
He's got to be a lot bigger stump than that for me.
Yeah, huge. For you. I know what you meant. It's the second time you called me a fat ass this show.
Look at that. My God, it's beautiful.
Even Curly Bill marveling.
Powers Booth, fantastic. There's so many of these people ended up in Deadwood, too.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Fantastic. I mean, I dig Westerns, but I like Westerns.
So tell me about the first time you watched this movie. Was it like immediate, like, oh, this is it for me?
No, this grabbed me 100%. Grabbed me 100. I mean, like, for a while, this will always be there, but for a while, I guess I was a standard dude, but a basic bitch, as they would call us now. My top three were Tombstone, Gladiator, and Braveheart.
Oh, nice.
Like, that was the holy trinity for a while.
That's a dude's rock trinity there.
Those are three movies that if I see them on TNT or anything, I'm watching.
Can't not
no matter where it's at in the movie.
I've ruined my whole day.
Yeah.
Because then I get locked into wherever we're at.
Gladiators, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know
Fantastic.
I don't know that I've ever hated a person more than I hate him in that movie.
Ultimate heel.
Yeah, he's great.
Do you have a favorite line in this movie?
I don't know. Huckleberry's up there. I mean, I've said that 1,000 million times.
All right.
Don't any of you have the guts to play for blood?
I'm your Huckleberry. That's just my game.
You think he's the best character of this movie too, Val Kilmer?
Yes.
I mean, he's outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, it still would be a great Western without him, but like if there was just a normal Western guy as Doc Holliday. But his lines are so, like, none of them are wasted. They're all memorable. I can't wait if we get to the end of what y'all think he means at the end. That's a debate.
I was going to ask that when he looks at his feet and says it's funny. Is that what you're talking about?
When he says, I'll be damned, right before he dies. Those are really his last words. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
He says, I'll be damned. He's got the book and he's laying there, Doc Holliday, and he says, I'll be damned, and that is documented as his final words, and there's debate on what it means.
What do you think it means?
I just always thought it was cool that he was in a book. Like, he was in the stories of Wyatt Earp, and then I've heard that he was so surprised that everything that he went through, like, he didn't think he'd be dying in a hospital bed. Yeah. Like, I thought he'd be shot or whatever the case. He's in gunfights, for God's sake. He's laying behind a stump right here. And then now his friend's writing a book for him and he's dying.
I like your second theory. I like that one better.
Like that he can't
just
believe that?
Just that he's shocked.
It's kind of cool. I mean, I didn't think of it. I just read it when I was like, I didn't even think of it that way. But it kind of changes that whole scene if you think about that.
I'll be damned.
Isn't that wild? I'll be damned.
One thing I was a little confused on the movie, after his brothers get shot, everyone is just mad at Kurt Russell. They act like it's all his fault.
Yeah, because he's killing all their friends.
Oh, really? Well, like all the wives were just mad at him, and they were.
Oh yeah,
like,
well yeah. No, he's on a revenge. Yeah. Well, look, he's got his wife hates him anyway.
yeah.
Oh, she not even aware of him at this point in time. She's so
Yeah, but right
comatose.
now she don't even know she's married. She's probably talking to him in whatever tent she's in. They didn't ever. Did they tell? I can't remember. They didn't tell what she did at the end, did you?
They say she overdosed.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
that. Yeah, she died.
Checks
Yeah,
out.
Yeah, it's
Checks
like,
out.
like everyone dies, and Kurt Russell lived happily ever after.
I love also at the end they name drop on who was his pallbearers and stuff. It's like, what has that got to do with anything? You know, we had a celebrity as his
Yeah.
pallbearer. Okay, thanks.
And his mustache is now in the Smithsonian. And Billy Bob's mouth is still bleeding.
Billy Bob's mouth. He's still standing there bleeding.
We were talking about the best lines.
Uh-oh.
You ain't nothing but a drunk piano player.
That's strong.
Well, I got two guns for
Mhm.
the both of you. I think
Yeah.
that's my favorite
Mhm.
quote.
You're probably seeing double.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a gun for both
No,
of
that
you.
that one's great.
Yeah.
Daisy If You Do is great too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody quotes that forever.
Isn't that a daisy?
The guy who narrates the beginning and the end,
Yeah, I saw this.
he was supposed to be in it, and he fell off a horse and got injured, so they just like made him
Man.
narrator.
That's great.
That would be so shitty though to just like have to tell people that, like, oh man, you're the narrator. Like, oh, you're the narrator. Like, yeah,
Yeah, because I had a broken leg.
yeah, 'cause I fell off
Because I
freaking
fell off
horse.
a horse.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, the main reason you can't be in a Western is you can't ride a horse. One time when I lived in LA, I worked on this reality show called Filthy Rich Cattle Drive, and they got kids of celebrities. And we were out in Colorado, and they had to do a cattle drive, like on this dude's cow farm, like huge cattle drive. And so they had to like live on the plains for, a few weeks. And one of the producers was Jessica Simpson's dad. Okay. So this tells you how deep we're into Hollywood. Where they've just had the Simpsons reality show, and
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
he had a producer credit. So now he's there. He's there. And nothing. Producer gives money. That's what you do as a producer, okay? And so he shows up like middle of the shooting, and he's like in a Polaris, like a side by side, riding around, and like he's there, and he's like, "I won't be riding a horse. Like that's what we're doing. We're supposed to be riding horses." And so he rides a horse. He gets thrown from the horse, and the next day he shows up on set, and he's got like the Hollywood bandage around the head where he's fell. And then we're like, is this part of the show? Like, is this going to be in there where he got thrown from the, because it's like the worst cartoonish
Yeah, he's like
bandage.
like he's in MASH.
Yeah. It's like one wrap goes this way for some reason. It's kind of over his eyes. Like, what does that have to do with a concussion? Like, I don't even know if he had a wound, but yeah, it was just always laughing. He's begging to ride a horse, and the next day on set, he's got a head bandage from getting thrown.
I've only seen people with their head bandages in cartoons.
Yes.
Like I've never seen it in real life, like in
Just
the
walking
wild.
around. It was the old school rollout ace bandage.
Oh, I could.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
I'm there. That's hilarious.
That's not a good look when you're trying to be our boss.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, keep doing good work out here. Like, are you gonna walk around with that bandage on your hand all day? Is that what we're
You
doing?
ain't seen any horses near here, have you?
Yeah, and he's back on the flare.
Yeah.
What happened to that horse?
All
ride?
horses are banned from the set. But
That
tell people.
It was a bad horse.
Well, before you leave, tell us. I don't think you answered how you found out Santa Claus was.
Oh yeah.
We need it for the montage.
We do need it for the montage. I don't have a good story. Mine was I found out probably at the same time that wrestling was not real. It was just kids at
That's
school.
a tough year.
Well, yeah, when you're like, I'm getting a Nintendo for Christmas. Santa's bringing it. And they're like, do what? And you're like, yeah, Santa's bringing it. I've already asked him.
I got to play WCW.
Okay. Yeah.
Versus NWO.
You got to get it. Yeah, no, it was just a kid. Just a kid ruined it at school. I wish I had a big memory or a big moment.
It's all right. This might not make the montage.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be in it. He already.
I heard the last one. I was like, I'm not going to be. No, this is actually my moment. I don't know. I didn't know until then. Thank you.
I remember one time my dad told us we weren't going to get a Nintendo 64 and we wanted one like so bad. And I just remember popping. I've been like, I'll just ask Santa. And I just remember being like, I got the upper hand here. Like,
I got the hand.
Yeah, all right, not a big problem. Like, no big deal. And he was just sitting there thinking like, God, my kid's an idiot.
But I think one of the times I started questioning it myself was my dad purposely copied Christmas Story and hid the BB gun like behind the chair. And I was like, boy, this is just like Christmas Story a little bit. You know what I mean? And my mom is doing the whole, like, not on purpose. She's like, why'd you do that? And he's like, Santa left it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure my dad bought me a BB gun.
Santa only has so many moves.
Yeah,
He doesn't repeat.
One, I didn't ask Santa for a BB gun, so I'm not sure how he got that on his. I mean, I'll take it. It's
As
the coolest
seen on A Christmas Story.
It was Red. No, it wasn't Red Ryder.
Red Ryder.
But I was like, that was the first time I'm like, oh, here we go. I'll be damned. He's getting close. Oh, no, he's not in the hospital yet.
Yeah, he still shows up after.
Oh, this is the shootout.
Yeah, this is the initial, like.
Be a daisy. When he says, oh, I was just kidding, he goes, I wasn't.
Yeah, I love that line.
That's amazing.
Fight's not with you, Holiday.
I beg to differ, sir. We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't.
He's scared, dude. Oh, I didn't think he had it in you. He didn't. Oh, I'm your Huckleberry.
There it is. There
he
it
appears
is.
out of the darkness, bro. Come on.
Yeah, this is such a great part.
I got to go do a comedy show, and this is the best way to get pumped up for
Oh,
it.
you hyped?
Yeah. I've never watched Tombstone straight into a comedy show. I'm gonna start. That's on my
It's like
rider.
a football team watching like Friday Night Lights right before the game, right? Friday night.
Yeah, that's gonna be us.
We're gonna murder tonight. What?
You're gonna go on stage? I would be a daisy if you do. I've had that more times than the other.
What? You want to plug all your stuff where we can find you?
I'm not on Facebook. I'm on social media at the Casio Kid. I do stuff with ad-free shows. That is the wrestling podcast world. That's behind the Patreon. But I do shows there with old wrestlers and old referees, Mike Chioda, Nick Patrick, and Lash LaRue. I don't know if you remember him, but he's an Alabama wrestler. I do one-offs with a bunch of other people, Eric Bischoff and good old JR and Tony Schiavone and a bunch of stuff. That's all at adfreeshows.com. And the big one is I focus on the X5 podcast, which is, man, it's really taken off. It's really cool to see all the hard work that all of us have been. I mean, y'all know how much work goes into a podcast, and to see it start to pay dividends is pretty cool. And I don't mean monetarily, just, oh my gosh, people's actually paying attention to us.
Yeah.
It's just a great
That
feeling,
must be
man.
nice.
And and so the X5 podcast, it's 5 because there's usually 5 co-hosts, which sometimes we've had to learn is a little too much, but just 5 of us dudes and sitting there, and we have comedians or musicians or anybody, literally anybody can come on. We've had on Rob Riggle and Steel Panther and Christopher Titus and tons of musicians, Winger and a bunch of others. We had Corey Feldman, but it never aired because we got mad at him and kicked him out.
No way.
Yeah. He was trying to big time us, delaying and not coming out of his RV and the whole deal, making him food. We had a chef, shout out to Chef Rob from X5 Podcast. He cooks like Boston butts and ribs and like just this huge cookout every time. And he'll make like sides, baked beans and, baked potato, like just a huge spread for everybody. And so he's cooking, and they had asked prehand. They were like, hey, we got a couple dudes that are vegan. Could you get some vegan stuff? So he's like smoking lettuce wraps, like just an incredible menu. And Feldman comes out and is like, I want eggs and toast. They cannot touch. Only put salt and pepper in the eggs. And that's all I want. And we're like, well, he's on a smoker. I'm not sure how we're going to make eggs and toast. we're at a podcast studio with a smoker. So we sent a guy, went and got eggs and toast, brought it back. Chef Rob got like a container, puts it on there. He's making scrambled eggs, puts some toast on there, and gets it done. And now everybody is like, dude, we want eggs and toast. It looks amazing. And he's like, man, I'm pretty proud. I can't believe this is the first time I ever make breakfast on a smoker. And brings it to him. And he's like, here it is. And he goes, is there salt and pepper in this? And he goes like, yeah. And he goes, nah, I told you plain eggs. He's like, no, you did not. You specifically said eggs and toast, salt and pepper only. And he goes, no, I don't eat salt and pepper on my eggs. Make it again. And we're like, no.
Wow.
Not making it again. What? We fed his whole crew, fed his whole band, fed his security, and shout out to Charlie Reese, the man behind the curtain for the X5. He literally told him, he's like, hey, man, you've, long story short, he was like, we're not going to do the pod. We're already an hour and a half late. I'm feeding your crew. You can just get back on your RV and wait. And he did.
Wow.
He sat in the RV while his whole crew ate.
Wow. What a goon.
What a goof, dude.
I always thought Corey Feldman was so cool too.
I've heard weird stories.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He's had a super cool adult career.
We were going to have a talk about Cooper after this. If he was like, I thought Corey Feldman was.
Corey's the man. He's always doing that maid thing. Yeah,
He's always doing the maid thing. He is that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live my life a lot like Corey. So.
I don't
By
know
the
if
way,
you
I
noticed
got
my
a new
haircut.
band starting. I got a new band start. Yeah, he was in town to do a show in Huntsville, so we had him on, and it was like, this is perfect. Like, let him be Corey. You know what I mean? Like, get over all the stories that are out there. No, he fell right into the stories.
What?
It was
sucks.
pretty incredible.
That's
so X5 podcast. That's wherever you consume this one, you can consume X5.
All right, well, man. Thank you so much for
Thanks
taking
for
time
having
out of
me,
your
guys.
day, man.
This has been
We appreciate
spectacular,
it.
dude.
It was awesome.
Man, look at all these toys.